that he's going to be sorry to lose you. But he's not going to lose me, protested Matthew. One doesn't completely disappear when one gets married. Angus looked at Matthew with his slightly rheumy eyes. Really? Well, we won't be seeing much of you here after the event. We'll see, said Matthew. He raised his glass of beer to his lips and looked at Angus. Angus was much older than he was, and was unmarried, which meant either that there was some profound reason, lack of interest, or that he had been successful in evading commitment. Now, which of these was it? What about yourself, Angus? Matthew asked. Have you ever thought of tying the knot with anybody? Angus smiled. Nobody would have me, I fear. Nothing would give me greater pleasure, I suspect, but, well, I've never really got myself organized. Of course, you'd need to find somebody capable of taking on Cyril, said Matthew, and that wouldn't be easy. Angus shot Matthew an injured glance, and Matthew immediately realized his tactlessness. Cyril is a slight problem, said Angus. It's difficult being canine, you see. Lots of women turn their noses up at dogs, particularly with Cyril being the sort of dog that he is, you know, a wandering eye and some unresolved personal freshness issues. But I wish people would see beyond that. Matthew nodded. Angus would be a task enough for any woman, and to add Cyril to the equation made it even more of a burden. What about Domenica? He asked suddenly. I've always thought that you and she might make a good couple. Angus looked wistfully at the ceiling. I've thought that too, he said, but I don't think there's much of a chance there. She can't abide Cyril, you see, and I can hardly get rid of him after all these years. His heart would break. She'd get used to him, said Matthew, and dogs don't last forever. Angus shook his head. No prospect, he said. But let's not talk about me and my problems. What about the wedding? I hear you've got Charlie Robertson to do it for you. I knew him when he was at the Canongate Kirk. He does a nice line in weddings, and Her Majesty used to enjoy his sermons, I gather, when she was in residence at Holyrood. She must have had to listen to an awful lot of wheezy lectures from various archbishops of Canterbury. It must have been so refreshing for her to get a good-going, no-nonsense sermon from somebody like Charlie. You know where you stand with the Church of Scotland, although, as an Episcopalian, I must say there's a certain folksiness. We're making certain changes, said Matthew. We're walking up the aisle together, and we're having a reading from Khalil Gibran. You know, the prophet. There's a chapter there about love and commitment. Angus began to let out an involuntary groan, but stopped himself. Sorry, he said. Yes, Khalil Gibran. I see. And the honeymoon? Matthew leaned forward and whispered, I haven't told Elspeth. It's going to be a surprise. Australia. Angus looked into his glass. For some inexplicable reason, he felt a sense of foreboding, as if a sinister angel had passed overhead and briefly looked down upon them, as one of those lumbering heavy bombers laden with high explosive may spot a target below, a quiet lane with lovers popular, the innocent going about their business, a farmer driving a truck along a winding lane. Irresistible temptations for a sinister angel. Chapter 2. By the Side of the Bridle Path.